To be a conversation starter. In the meantime, from The Athletic, the one, the only, the lovely, the talented, Matthew Barrows. Good morning, Matt.
Oh, thank you for calling me lovely. I think you're lovely, too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that could be the whole interview right there. That's a feel good.
He threw in talented,
I like
too.
to go out on a high note, so I think we should just end it right now.
Matt, when you were covering the Niners for the B, how did you go into the building much? And let me give you the context. I was having a conversation at the game yesterday with somebody. We were talking about the old school building for the Sacramento Bee and how once upon a time that place was like a movie walking in, like the hustle, the bustle, the phones, the coffee, all that. I imagine even if you didn't go in full time, it was just nice to reminisce about old haunts.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was on the news side of things for 4 years, so I went in there every day. And you're absolutely right. I mean, when I got hired by the Sacramento Bee in 1999, it was the heyday of newspapers. We were making money hand over fist. I mean, we had not just one newsroom, but there were several floors. It was just teeming with reporters. I could go on and on about this forever, but my point is that when I got there, we didn't have enough computers to go around. I had to share a computer. It was on a swivel. I had to share it with another guy on the desk opposite me, and we had to basically, it was a timeshare for this old Coyote computer, green, war game style computer. Do you want to play a game of chess? Style computer. I mean, that's how glorious it was. And then 20 years later, it was tumbleweeds going through that damn newsroom. I mean, it just happened so fast.
Did you ever have to write agate on one of those computers by hand? Did you ever have to get into that at all, or was that before your time?
No, agate. That's how Matt Barrows got his start in the industry, doing agate. You give agate jobs to the riffraff, to the beginners. So,
I did too. Mark McDermott, man.
Did agate, yeah, for sure. My middle name is Agate. Yeah.
So Matt Agate Barrows joining us here.
There you go.
Matt,
there you go.
Yesterday, this is, everybody's taking the second half from the Rams game as just beautiful football. Then you get to yesterday, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't smooth, but they have a great defense, and they showed up in that second half to help them get that win. It's a win is a win, but how do you explain maybe a week off, all the toys available, and that's the offensive performance they get?
Yeah, I remember George Kittle saying at the end of the Rams game that he kind of wished that the bye wasn't coming up because they were finally getting into a rhythm, and you don't want to kind of squander that. And I do think that a little bit of that happened. And when you have so many weapons, I do think that it's going to take a little while for everything to become cohesive. But you saw the roots of it in that game. I mean, I counted, I think it was 7 or 8 plays where it's Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel in the backfield in one shape or form. So you can just sort of see the creativity that can spark or sprout from that duo. And like I said, I think it's something that's going to grow as the season goes on. One issue is that despite all the weaponry, it's still a really inexperienced offensive line that hasn't been blocking together for very long. It's been blocking together for half a season, and it's getting better in that regard. But really, it doesn't matter how many kind of fancy pieces you have in your offense if there's still some bulkiness along the offensive line. I think that was happening at times in the first half. Again, I think this is all stuff that's going to get better as the season goes on and they spend more time together. So that's how I would chalk it up. It was a good, Brandon Staley, the head coach of the Chargers, is a defensive guy. He's a Vic Fangio disciple. So it was a nice game by them. But, I think people, the 49ers included, were expecting a lot more offensive magic than we saw last night.
Matt Barrows joining us. Matt, we were kind of philosophizing earlier that it might just be for the Niners to be the best they can be, they have to be the worst fantasy football team there is. One of those teams that frustrates the heck out of any fantasy football player because you don't know. You had Elijah Mitchell with more rushes than Christian McCaffrey, and who cares? He's got so many weapons. I guess it's just a matter of A, do you agree? But B, Is that something you think that locker room is ready for, sharing the ball like that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and really, it's happened in the past. There were games where Brandon Ayuk was the centerpiece of the offense, and he'd have a nice fantasy game, and the next game it would be George Kittle, and the next game it would be Deebo Samuel. So that's been happening, and now there's just a couple more individuals where that's going to be spread to. And, I mean, I can totally envision a scenario where Christian McCaffrey has 125 combined yards one game and 46 the next because Elijah Mitchell's getting it. And no, I don't think that that's going to be an issue.
Okay.
That was sort of Jimmy Garoppolo's point after the game. I mean, everybody's just looking for that W, and they're just so hard fought, especially that game last night. That's the overwhelming sensation is that we played a close game, we came out with the win, and I don't think anybody was really concerned about their individual stat line.
Matt Barrows joining us, and all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Matt, a specific play, it was second quarter when, and this is a really tough play, I know what the league is trying to do here, but when Dre Greenlaw hit Herbert gets checked out for concussion, allowed to return. Greenlaw's ejected. What were the Niners saying about that specific play post-game?
Yeah, they were railing against it. They disagreed forcefully. I think Shanahan said it best. He understood the penalty because it was a helmet-to-helmet shot. But to then eject him, that's what he didn't understand because to Shanahan, there had to be, bad intent. And the 49ers' take was that it was a bang-bang play. I mean, this guy was being tackled from behind. His trajectory changed. Greenlaw was leading with his shoulder, and it just so happened that their helmets made contact. I mean, he wasn't trying to hurt him on the play. The league, I actually was the guy who spoke to Walt Anderson, the vice president of officiating, and he said that the fact that Herbert was being tackled from behind did have an effect, but it wasn't the mitigating effect that the 49ers were saying. He noted that, his knee was down. He was a down runner at the point that Greenlaw made contact, and the NFL's point was that the player's decision-making, Greenlaw's decision-making to go ahead and to try to hit Justin Herbert as he was falling was the reason why they ejected him. So, to me, I thought that Greenlaw should have, just given all the sensitivity with quarterbacks, whatnot. There was no sense in giving Herbert an extra shot at the end of that play. I don't think that he should have been ejected, however. I mean, that's a big, big call. He was the 49ers' leading tackler at that point. In fact, he finished the game as the 49ers' leading tackler. So taking him off the field is a big deal, could have really affected the outcome of the game. It seemed like it was another, we're going to send a message not to hit our quarterbacks type of thing from the league. And I've got an issue with that.
That's Matt Barrows from The Athletic. Matt, always appreciate your insights, especially after a win. I mean, your insights are good after a loss, but these are more fun after a win for both of us. And we'll have to sit down sometimes and talk about. I could spend an hour talking to you about the old Sacramento Bee.
Yeah, let's go deep on agate. We'll do like 3 or 4 hours on agate one day.
I never figured out. I tried. Mark McDermott used to yell at me because I always screw the agate up. It's like a code. People don't understand unless they were there, Matt.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. You have to be part of it.
Take care, man. We'll talk to you in a week.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Anytime. Talk to you soon.
Bye. It's like 14 years old, interning, and big guys like, because you'd screw up the people, the coaching, the high school coaches are calling with the box scores, and you had to basically type computer code in there.
The hustle and bustle then, now there's probably 2 people in the office.
Seriously.
Everybody's working from home.
They
remotely.
moved.
Yeah.
They moved the building.
They don't need all that space.
Not enough people. All right, we'll take a break.